So if I'm aware that you're aware, and you're aware that I'm aware, and we're both aware that we're both aware, then actually that awareness is the same substance through which we are both aware. So that means we have a channel of communication through some kind of metamorphic field through which we are both aware. And that is mind. That is the function of mind. And so that is to say that, excuse me, I'm still getting settled in my new room here. So step by step, we'll get it nice and tidy very soon. Get a video of the sun coming up. That if you are aware of your goal, what you would like to achieve, how you would like to change, then that change is aware of you. And you are aware of the change, and you are both aware, and there is a space that can open up. And so the only thing that is really stopping, think about it. If we consider for just one moment, you're watching this video, I'm making this video. You're aware that I'm making the video. I'm aware that you're aware that I'm making the video. And through that awareness that is at a high level, there is no separation between you and I. The only thing that separates you and I is different filters, which is the brain, the body, Well, even then I would say, like some sort of Buddhist absolutists, they will say, like, there is no real separation between us except by time, by different lives. Other than that, we're the exact same awareness, and then there is no self. That then we get into the whole anatman versus atman. But there's two different training methods with that, right? There's the absolute no self, okay? If we just consider that through the awareness by which you are aware and the awareness by which I'm aware, it's the same awareness, then we can say, if we're looking at it from such a high level, then we can say, okay, there's no self, there's no true self, whatever. But what it actually means, anatman, it means that no part of the self is unchanging. We've gone through many different life cycles, life rebirth to get to where we are. Our DNA, our family lineage has gone through many changes. So if you look at the space, between that, okay, that between the DNA strand, there's a space, and between the soul's journey, the journey of the soul through so many different lifetimes, okay. If we consider the shape of the outside of that structure, okay, there are many changes. The inside of that structure is empty, okay, and that is why we say mind is ultimately empty. Mind is ultimately empty. Awareness is ultimately empty. Through that awareness, we are both aware, and we have a channel of communication through which we, at a high level, we can also develop some kind of telepathy, basically. We don't even need to say much. So that's where the concept of mind power comes in. if we develop this to a high level, we realize that if we're aware of what it is that we want to achieve, there's no problem. The only thing that is going to get in the way is the structure. Okay, on the outside is the yin. Okay, if we consider the awareness the yang, the outside structure then is the yin, is the container. So that just means that we need the right container. And with regards to let's say manifestation, here comes the sun. With regards to manifestation, we need to open up the right shape, the right shape within which there is total emptiness. And nature abhors a vacuum. This is why we get sucked towards our destination effortlessly. This is how we use mind and not force. Now the sun is coming up further, but it's very bright, so I can see the round shape of it because I'm wearing my glasses here. But I don't know if it's showing up through the phone. So let's do some meditation. Let's do some mind power development. Okay. I'm going to do it around. Yes, and the thing is that what I wanted to discuss during this kind of, let's say, mind power diary log. Okay, it's important to keep a diary as well. It's not compulsory, but it's very useful. I find it very useful to do a diary log. I'm very dyslexic actually, so for me writing, I do write a little bit, and I do have a diary log, but I do prefer using video and doing video logs, so that usually sometimes every day there'll be a video will come up on my feed from a year ago, and then I can observe my waves, frequency, and energy. How was that guy doing back then? How refined was the structure back then compared to now? Have I made any progress? What do I now need to improve on? So this is an important stretch. I'm opening up this part. You see, this part is pulling. And so, how does one get up at say between 3 and 4 a.m. every morning? And why would you do that? Well, to develop mind power. To develop mind power. I think we've all had the experience of this space the space opening up, the left and right brain hemispheres synchronizing, and then those two waveforms sort of just cancel each other out. And then there's this empty space. We become aware of the emptiness within the structure. Take your time. This is how you develop mind power. Actually, it's the body mind. The mind, it's just as much in here as it is in here, as it is in here, as it is immersed through the whole perimeter and to the center and throughout my body, and even a little bit further beyond the perimeter of my body, okay? It's just that we have a mass of neural mass, a big lump of neurons and brain up here, which had a lot of the electricity goes up here. So, but when we develop mind power, actually the electricity needs to be able to from up here to fall down. Usually you want to develop a good breathing method, so it's useful to allow all the electricity to fall down, so achieve a state of cognitive suspension where there is no thought. The two brain waves cancel each other out, space opens up, and then the electricity that was up here, which has a certain mass, you will feel that mass fall down here into the Dantian in Mandarin, or it doesn't matter, okay? We just have an energy center down here, okay? It's very active in birth, during gestation, because the lungs cannot work while we're in the womb. So that's why this energy center here is really going at 100% in an infant in the womb. And then, of course, when you get born, they cut the umbilical cord, and the function of that energy goes down 99, 98, 97, 96. When you're about 10 years old, the energy depleted down at about 10%. So when we're about 30 years old, if we haven't learned how to reconnect that energy is going to be right down like 5% or something, So the first phase of there are other meditation systems that might not necessarily do Qigong, which is about connecting this back and building this back up to 100%, but I strongly advise, not strongly, no, it's good, okay? It's good if you can reconnect this and do it. And it can be a quite turbulent learning when you first become aware of this electrical function of the Dantian again, and it starts to build up. But this is the other reason why I get up, why I get up early, because I get up early and then I learn to smooth all that energy out. Otherwise, if I do this during the day and I build it up, it overstimulates my nervous system. So that's why I get up early now, because it can help to smooth out all that excess energy. And at the same time, I can continue to build it. But take your time. So the key to getting up to being successful at this is that you just have to start at some point. So every day, I would say don't set the alarm clock. Okay, just when you wake up and you feel enough energy, or even if you don't feel enough energy, just get up and take your time. Don't go straight into a full lotus position like this. What you can do is you can use a Burmese position like this. Good raised thing, raised thing to the pillows like that, and then you can, we just sit normal cross-legged is fine. Okay, get up, sit down, relax, take your time. Let the energy to smooth out. Let the breath start to fall down. There is there's no goal with meditation, to be honest. The only goal is to let go. But letting go in itself is not an action. It's a non-action. So take your time and make sure the spine needs to be upright. Okay, if this is the sacrum, you need it to be. Obviously, it's not going to be perfectly straight, but you need to project the energy right from the sacrum, project it up the spine, up through the top, so that naturally, because you're projecting up, the chin will slightly come in, and you will project up. And then that can be tricky, because as you project up, sometimes your breathing comes back up to your chest. So you got to balance that with lowering the breath, and so lowering the breath. If I let my breath completely lower, then I compromise my sort of structure. I compromise my upwards projection. If I project up too much, then my breathing comes back up to my chest. So there's a balance between these two. And how to breathe. Breathing, it should feel like you have those, what do you call them? Bellows that the old school blacksmiths used to use, and still use actually. And those big things that there's a big kind of thing that fills up with air, and then you push it, and then the air, and then it directs and it focuses on a fire, and then gets glowing hot. Like, that's actually exactly what you're doing, but the key is not to force it, and also not to you don't want to twitch and so that it's not smooth. You have to smooth it out, and that's how you actually develop the power of the breathing, and that's how you slowly connect mind and body to a deeper level through breathing. Is you have to feel the whole outside fascia sheaths going around the lungs, going around there, and then there's another fascia sheath around there, another fascia sheath connected to that, going through the whole body. So gradually you first start to work with these bellows in here, and then it connects, and then you will feel the waves of energy coming up the spine. Okay, it will take some time. First, learn to develop that sensitivity inside here. Okay, first lower the mind down to the dantian and feel those membranes, fascia sheaths going around there, and you can use a slight amount of force to push them in, and as you do that, you exhale, and then you just let it go, and then your awareness is just on the outside of that membrane, And if you can get it down to 1 millimeter at a time, and then it gets to that. And then my mind starts to immerse itself into that. I'm following the breath as it's going up. So that is how you gradually calm the mind, because all of the electricity, all of the awareness is just following the breath, and then you will start, slowly you'll become aware of the energy, and then the energy will start to breathe. You'll start to develop the energy breathing, and then you will get to a higher level of mental clarity, because more space will open up, more mental spaciousness will open up as your everything goes down here and immerses into this process. Okay, and I can work with this one down here. I can breathe more, and I can start to work even with my whole lungs as well. You don't want to get too fixed on just down here. You can do just down here for a while, then also work out the whole work. Start working with more of the lungs too, like this. And as I expand and make it really big, I'll feel the little bones click, 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 and I'll feel my spine going click, click, click. And as I breathe in, I allow the energy to project up, and then if I relax, kind of just relax into pleasure, just relax into pleasure, let everything loosen up. Then I will feel it coming up, and then I will feel click, 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 click. Yeah, I'm actually much better off with the Burmese, and you may be too. So do give both a go. You know, give both a go. You could even try a half lotus. So now my awareness just start to immerse through. Now, you know, I'm working with the timing of within the body, okay? There's also so many other things the awareness can follow. The timing of the sun, the timing of the clouds, the timing of, you know, people going to work, the timing of the weather, the timing of the trees, timing of the birds, the timing of your digestion, the timing of your metabolism, external timing, internal timing. So many things going on, but just start with the basics.